Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning has been on urban agriculture. In our last segment, we spoke with the founder and CEO of Growing Power Incorporated, Mr. Will Allen, and we're now being joined by Dennis Lukszewski, as well as our friend Ryan Schone. He's the local foods and micro farm coordinator for the UW Extension. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, good being here.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And Dennis, I did not mention right off, but your title is Urban Agriculture Program Coordinator.
Correct.
So if you
Correct.
could tell us more about the Milwaukee County UW Extension and your mission.
Okay, well, you know, the Extension Service has been around for 100 years.
Wow.
And how it started in agriculture was essentially, if you look at the Extension, it's basically getting university knowledge to the folks. And we're that vehicle to be able to expand people's knowledge and do things more effectively and productively, right? So long ago, they figured out when they would talk to farmers, they wouldn't really listen to say, do this. So they got the kids involved, and they call that 4-H. And that's how the 4-H clubs came to be. And then the tradition has carried on. We also do nutrition programs. We have agriculture programs, and in an urban environment like ours, it's mostly urban agriculture, and our Master Gardener program are probably the two biggest and visible, they would say.
Very interesting. And in this day and age, how important would you guys say urban farming is, in your opinion?
Personally, I find it very difficult to retire right now because it's just so exciting time to be here. If you heard Will talking about the genesis of this, and I remember back in the mid-90s, Will and I was tilling his backyard where he had his greenhouses for the kids to do their little program, and never in my wildest dreams that I would think that it would be this expansive, this rapidly. Within a 20-year span, it got to grow into such a exciting, vibrant program. So, and now I'm at that age where it's hard to just let it go, you know. So hopefully the millennials with Ryan here will show some of where this is all going in the future.
Oh,
so,
wow, that is so funny. And it's, Ryan, you can tell us, research is showing us that actually the safe haven of community gardens really is playing a role in bringing out the best in people. How so?
Yeah, I think that's how I got initially attracted to urban agriculture and community gardening, is the multifaceted benefits of it. I studied urban planning and kind of got drug into agriculture. I grew up on a farm but had no intention of moving back or being involved in farming for many different reasons. And I thought everything that's interesting and cultural happens in the city. But now it's funny because I kind of have two different perspectives, the rural farming perspective and the urban planning perspective. But there's so many different benefits: social, environmental, health, both mental and physical health benefits of community gardening. And when you particularly engage the community from the ground level and establishing a garden, and not just coming in and saying, we're going to build it and they'll come. You know, this garden is what we want and is probably what the neighborhood wants. But actually going out and canvassing the neighborhood, getting them involved from the very ground level and making sure that that is what they want and that there's enough people to stay and maintain that community garden. And there usually is just a lot of benefits long-term that will sustain from that.
That's an awesome concept, and it's good to hear that as well. Now, when you think about urban living, people are living in apartments and condos, maybe even townhouses, and they obviously don't always have space to garden. So UW Extension has a solution for individuals who are in that scenario. For 42 years, you've been actually renting garden space to urban residents. If you could quickly fill us in on how that works.
Basically, you pay the money and you get the space.
So where are these gardens located?
In the county of Milwaukee. We serve all the communities, not just City of Milwaukee, obviously. We have about 72 acres that we have garden space in, 40 of which is tilled with some green space and such. So our biggest garden, which is probably the biggest farm in the city, is in Cole Park, which we call Cole Farm, and we have 28 acres there. So there's about 1,000 plots, and to us, a garden plot is 30 by 30 feet. And to get an idea for that, it'd be like a little bigger than a two and a half car garage.
Okay.
And then we also have 20 by 20, so it'd be a little bit smaller than that. So when we say garden plot, that's the area of land. And we're basically covering the cost of tilling and water. So that's our fee, which range from $25 up to, our most expensive is in Wauwatosa, where our water bill is $11,000.
Oh, wow.
I mean, in the old days, that was unheard of, but
Right.
obviously the bill has to go back to the gardeners to pay that fee. But we have gardens in 11 sites, big gardens, and some city sites. And some of the more exciting things that's Ryan doing is called the Milwaukee Urban Discovery Farm, which you'll hear about in a bit. So there's many venues that people can get involved in urban gardening.
Okay, and to find out more about the urban gardening and all the things that we talk about today, they can go to your website.
Correct.
And your website address?
Is milwaukee.uwx.
.edu.
Edu.
.edu.
Sorry.
And Ryan, he was talking about your Milwaukee Urban Discovery Farm, and it's interesting because Mr. Will Allen was here earlier, and he referred to it as the shoots and roots, and you said that's old school terms. So
Right.
You've made a transition with the times, obviously.
Well, let me go back real quick on that one. Shoots and Roots was when we had the 23 Cities program. That was the name of our urban gardening, which was specifically City of Milwaukee, so all the old timers remember it as Shoots and Roots. And so to get the brand shifted back to Extension, we kind of eliminated that. So yeah, it's just where that went.
Well, talk about the Urban Discovery Farm and what you do.
Sure. So this was an idea that was incepted last season, and kind of building off of the shoots and the roots in the sense of educating small-scale urban farmers about a variety of different issues pertaining to urban farming. But building off of that, I came in last year and we were really focused on the question, can urban agriculture be economically viable? So for an individual or a family, can you make a profit farming in a particularly urban or a peri-urban area? And really there's not much research or evidence out there showing either way. If anything, there's more evidence showing that no, it's not so profitable. It's very difficult because of gaining access to land, because of all the ordinances and codes, and the soil not being very nutrient rich, often clay based.
In Tosa, that's a big thing, clay soil, right?
Right.
Pretty much all of Milwaukee County.
Okay.
Right.
And so we wanted to find out, can it be economically viable? And if so, in what cases? And so my program, the Milwaukee Urban Discovery Farm, is working with about a dozen different what we call micro farmers or small scale growers who are growing with the intent of selling either to a restaurant or to a co-op or to a store. And so we work with them and research, while researching the economic viability and social capital of urban farming. We also help them gain access to land by using those 30 extra acres that are at our community garden sites to give them land access and kind of test out different innovative ways of growing and ways that would hopefully be economically viable. And we'll find that out throughout the course of this season and then the next, and so forth.
Well, I am so happy we were able to make it happen where you guys could come in and tell us all about the great things that you're doing at the UW Extension. And I want to just quickly mention you have Master Gardener volunteers who help people answer questions about gardening and all that good stuff. And you've got your annual perennial plant sale coming up on Saturday, May 17th at Wisconsin State Fair Park in West Dallas from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The sales benefit the UW Extension Horticulture Education Programming. I thank you both so much for coming by and sharing such great information.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
My pleasure. Dennis Lukszewski, he is the Urban Agriculture Program Coordinator for UW Extension, and Ryan Schone, he is the Local Foods and Micro Farm Coordinator. If you want more information on anything that we've talked about during this segment, log on to milwaukee.uwex.edu or call 256-4600. That is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.